The final score, Aberystwyth Town 1, Wrexham 2, and Wrexham go up to second place in the table. A proper result, this, I've got to say. It was hard fought, but let's remember that, our aim in our first season at this level is not to consolidate, but to get into that top four where they scrap out for the top four places. And quite frankly, this is a huge win against a side who will have ambitions to do exactly the same. We reverted back to a more familiar lineup after rotating a little bit at Pwllheli the previous weekend. Eva Suckley, though, having scored 6 goals, was suspended again for this match, and Amber Lightfoot was still out with concussion. But the Wrexham side that was selected was a strong one, but for the first 5 minutes had real problems. Aberystwyth put good pressure on Wrexham. I liked how they set themselves up. They rotated in their positions quite a lot, and they made it really difficult with a high press for us to pass our way out from the back. And once we were losing possession in dangerous parts of the pitch, they were looking to capitalise. Early on, there was an opportunity for Duggan getting clear of the last defender, Doran, but Doran was just too strong. It was a great piece of defending, and she managed to ease Duggan off the ball in the middle of the penalty area and get the ball away. However, Wrexham were not so fortunate in the 5th minute. TJ Dickens dropping off to split the centre-backs, but trying to switch. The pass went a bit astray, and when the ball was played back in, Jenkins received the ball, a layoff from Duggan in the box, and smashed in as good a goal as we're going to concede all season. What a strike by Jenkins. She's on the left flank, about, 25 yards out. Just hit it first time as it rolled back towards her. Ripped into the roof of the net. Morgan had no chance. The purest strike you're ever liable to see. Wrexham weren't shell-shocked by this. Instead, we started to bypass their press a bit more and immediately got back into the game. Within a couple of minutes of going behind, there was a real spell of pressure in the box. The same move, 3 shots by Hughes, Pritchard and then Davis were all really well blocked before Hughes then picked the ball up 25 yards out and tried a cheeky chip, which beat the keeper but dropped just wide at the left post. And Wrexham continued to maintain the pressure. Again, before the 10 minutes were out, another opportunity. Pritchard on the right-hand side, feeding it into Hughes, who on the turn ripped in a powerful shot. Really good hands by Margot Farnes, the Aberystwyth goalie, to dive and save. And a couple of minutes later, another opportunity. This time, the ball fed in by Lily Jones. A nice 1-2 with Hughes, working it wide. Pritchard driving into the box, one-on-one with the keeper, but with a tight angle, looked to finish side-footed into the near post. And she struck it well enough into the bottom corner. But again, Farnes did well to get down and block it. But eventually, the breakthrough came and Wrexham's pressure paid off. Halfway through the first half, Gibbard did well to get ahead on the ball to help it towards the edge of the area. Pritchard didn't actually get a touch, but she's unlucky that you can't give her an assist because she put the last defender, Rebecca Mathias, under a lot of pressure. And I think Rebecca Mathias was trying to run it back to the keeper, who didn't really come out to grab it off her toes. She didn't really want to swing her left foot, a stronger foot at it, because Rebecca Pritchard had got onto her right shoulder and there was a chance that she could drive it against her and it could ricochet in, because we're talking about the edge of the 6-yard box now with the keeper planted on a line. She maybe didn't realise, as she was so preoccupied by Pritchard, that typically Rosie Hughes, the predator-in-chief, was coming over the other shoulder, and she nicked in and poked a shot, which the keeper took the pace off, but Hughes kept following it and lunged in, and in a 50-50 of Mathias with the ball on the line, forced it over the line. It was not a pretty goal. Doesn't matter. It was a key equaliser. And Wrexham continued to push on. Within a minute, we could have gone ahead with Cara Jones breaking into the box on the left-hand side. Again, a tight angle. And again, the keeper did well at her near post. There was a response from Aberystwyth, though. Morley Hughes was getting into some decent positions. And after Doran couldn't get ahead of properly clear, and Lovis did well to hold up the attack, outnumbered on the edge of the area, but couldn't stop it eventually squirting out to Morley Hughes. The striker drove the ball wide with a good sight of goal. And Morley Hughes had an even better chance 5 minutes before the break. This time it was Roberts, who was a robust figure in the middle of midfield, feeding it across the box. A great ball to Morley Hughes. She was unmarked. She had half the box to herself, but as the ball rolled across her, she tried to hit it first time, stretching a bit and sliced it badly wide. Could have taken a touch, I would argue. She had enough time to take a touch, set herself, and then she would be able to test Morgan. Aberystwyth paid for that because At the end of the half, Wrexham took the lead. A horrible moment, though, for the Aberystwyth goalkeeper Farnes. Long ball over the top, keeper's ball, massively overhit, going through to her. Two centre-backs running back. They stop because it's going to the keeper. Pritchard, though, knowing that it was a zippy pitch and a wet ball, just decided to back her instincts and follow it in, and she was richly rewarded because poor Farnes dropped a simple ball and Pritchard was able to get there, knock it past her, and then drive it into an empty net with glee. And Wrexham were ahead at the break. A really entertaining, pulsating first half, which saw, at the start of it, Aberystwyth's quality. But then Wrexham really hit back and were the better team in the first half, although Aberystwyth, you always felt a threat on the break, but apart from that glorious strike, really didn't have much of a finish. The second half is very different. It was a real battle. Aberystwyth desperately trying to claw their way back into the match. Wrexham defending resolutely when we had to, and coming forwards and making chances. In fact, really, the only chances worth mentioning were for Wrexham in the second half, and they were few and far between. Firstly, TJ Dickens with a free kick from the halfway line, swept in. Hughes attacked it. Farnes came out but didn't get near it, and Hughes was just short of making contact. If she'd been able to stretch and get her head onto it, I'm sure it would have been in the back of the net, but she just couldn't quite reach it. There was another chance when Hughes turned and set the ball up nicely for Lily Mackenzie, who's come on off the bench. Mackenzie's first touch wasn't the best. She was one-on-one with the keeper. It forced her wide, but from the right channel, she still got a shot in. It wasn't strong enough or well-placed enough to trouble Farnes. But Wrexham continued to dig in. And like I said, Aberystwyth just weren't able to break down the Wrexham defence. I'm not saying Wrexham parked the bus. We most certainly didn't. It was an even second half, a few chances. But the fact is that Aberystwyth just couldn't make opportunities to test Morgan because the defensive unit, who I'll go through in a moment, were all absolutely rock solid. And in the 6th minute of added time, Wrexham could have grabbed another goal. Lily Whitefoot took the ball to the corner flag. Obviously, the orthodox thing to do is to hold it there. But she looked up and saw that Rosie Hughes on the edge of the area. And while the orthodox thing might be to hold it by the corner flag, giving the ball to Rosie Hughes is never a bad idea. She fed a nice ball into her, and Hughes drove in a powerful shot, which was saved by Farnes. And almost immediately, the final whistle went. A huge win for Wrexham. And an impressive performance as well. I mean, let's remember, this Wrexham team has just been promoted. It hasn't got a huge amount of experience at this level, but here we are getting a big win at a really well-established, strong League of Wales club. Looking through the performances, Del Morgan was good, but didn't have anything too pressing. She had no chance with the goal, which was fabulous. She did make one save as well in the first half, having to go down low, but for her standards, that was straightforward. The shot was outside the area again, and yeah, she just had a solid game. Her distribution was very good. She played some lovely passes out to Lovett on the left-hand side to try and spring the press. Across the back, like I said, the back unit, absolutely outstanding. Phoebe Davis, rock solid. Was very unlucky, or maybe daft to get booked for her kicking the ball away. Made some little progressive runs, but it was more her solidity, strength, and the accuracy of her passing down the line, which was impressive. She was a good outlet. In the centre, Doran and Allen again. Absolute beasts, just attacking everything in the air, winning it on the ground. They both took a battering and both needed treatment, but both of them really fought hard. And it was, again, you can see the quality they bring into the side and the spine of the team, but they just repelled everything aerially. Great tackles. Allen, as ever, bringing the ball forwards nicely. It was great stuff to watch. And on the left-hand side, player of the match for me, Erin Lovett. Excellent. Usual hard tackling, strong defensive work. Some good little runs going forwards, good use of the ball as well. Nice turnouts when the ball's paid to her by Morgan to get past players as well. I thought Lovett was absolutely outstanding. And although, frankly, any of the back four could have been the player of the match, I think Lovett edges it. In centre mid, well, Lily Jones again was a good player in terms of driving the play forward. She took a few knocks, and one she took in the second half looked worrying, but she was never scared of putting her body on the line. A couple of really nice little one-touch combinations with Rosie Hughes, one of which as well set up that chance for Pritchard in the first half, which were really good to see. She's got a good all-round game, doesn't she? She'll drive forward, she'll tackle, and my how she'll tackle, but also just that awareness of what's going on around her is good, high level and developing. She's still a young player, of course, alongside her Dickens again, rock solid. Maybe didn't sort of boss the midfield as you sometimes see her on occasions, but she provided excellent cover for that back four and was economical as ever with the ball. The second line, well, on the left-hand side, Cara Jones, who was terrific against Pwllheli, switched flanks and was excellent again. Her work rate's always phenomenal. She really just wouldn't let go with anything. She won a lot of lost causes. She was threatening coming inside. Her movement was good, I thought. She was really interchanging with Rosie Hughes nicely when Hughes went wide. And, yeah, on another day, she might have got a couple of goals. She was unlucky with that shot from a tight angle. On the other flank, Pritchard again, just smart, clever play. The reading of the game for the goal, the reading of the game for putting the pressure on for the first goal. Again, she's a genuine penalty area threat from out wide. And in the middle, Mary Gibbard had some nice touches, moved the ball on quite well sometimes to the strikers. It was a bit, sometimes in physical context, she was sort of knocked around a bit by the Aberystwyth players, but then she won that crucial header to tee up the first goal and did a good job. Rosie Hughes up front was Rosie Hughes up front. She got the finish. She could have had a couple more, but the keeper made a couple of good saves. And again, her movement and her pace was fascinating. But what was really fascinating was that she was up against a really impressive defender. Libby Isaac, who was playing centre-back, was brilliant. And the battle between her and Hughes was just magnificent. Isaac so often managed to close Hughes off. If they hadn't had her there, taking that responsibility, Hughes might have really ripped Aberystwyth apart. But Isaac was of the highest quality in terms of her defending. So, yeah, she was able maybe to restrict Hughes' threat, but, yeah, Hughes still played very well. Off the bench, Whitefoot came on for the closing minutes. She came on in the 84th minute and put some good industrious work down the flank. We gave Cara Jones a rest. And Libby McKenzie came on just after the hour for Gibbers. And again, nice touches, just fluffed that chance a bit, miscontrolling it. But having said that, again, she's finds space well between the lines and she did a good job. So, fantastic result, excellent performance, and Wrexham goes second in the table. Good stuff. Remember, Sunday, TNS at home, second of a double bill of massive games for Wrexham against teams that have the same aspiration of us to get into that top four. That's a huge game, goodness me. If we can get 2 wins out of this double header, we'll be in a brilliant spot. Remember, you can stream it live on Wrexham's website as well. I'm really looking forward to that one. A derby. So with the final score of Aberystwyth Town 1, Wrexham 2. I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.